we're talking about checking out fashions in Europe because I'm going to go and check out fashions. I'll bring you something back. Let me know what you want. Anyway, let's continue our discussion about the summer wardrobe. So there are going to be pieces of black in your summer wardrobe. I boycott black all winter as much as I can. And it's just my personal thing. I think, we have enough depression with the weather. We don't need to add to it with clothing. We've had Angela Dacey on the show before several times. She's a color specialist, and she uses color as a therapeutic tool. So she knows all the different qualities and energies of color, which is really interesting because, it used to be the black power suit. If you're going to do a business presentation and you are a woman entering the man's world, wear the black power suit or the pinstripe black suit with the white blouse, blah, blah, blah. I don't think that's the trend anymore. I think I see a lot more color and fashion in the business world. I'm not particularly entrenched in the business world, so I can't speak on too much authority about that. But I'm sure both of you have to deal with that world all the time. And how are we bringing color in other, navy blue instead of black, which is a little softer, I think. And navy blue is actually a color of communication. So if you are communicating a message to people, try wearing the navy blue instead of the black that may look a little witchy, and that might not be what you're going for. Right. Don't antagonize the beast.
And they also say knock 'em dead when you wear red. So
yes,
red,
really?
Yeah, knock 'em dead when you wear red. Red is a great color. It's
but there's a lot of people who can't wear red. Red's not my best color, but I have to find the tone.
Yes. Everybody can wear red. It's the tones of red.
Like there's a lot of orangey red. I can't do the orangey red. I stay way away from that. But the bluey reds I can pull off pretty well.
Because you're a summer.
Yes.
They're saying you're a summer.
The cool or the warm type of reds, right? The tomato red or the orangey red or the, kind of vibrant red.
Crimson red.
Yes.
Christmas red.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then there's the berry colors, which are sort of still a red, but they're more on the burgundy side of things. But they're quite beautiful as well. And they look... Some of those have a bluey tone, and some of those have an orangey tone. Not my favorite colors, but I have seen some people wear them really well. People who are fall.
Browns, oranges.
Yeah, they can wear those burgundy,
the burgundies.
orangey,
perfect.
Olive greens.
Isn't it funny how we still refer to those color palettes all these years later? But it's something relatable. You can relate to fall, spring, summer, and...
Yeah, and I still use that as part of my consultation, is to go back to the basics of understanding color, right? Which is pretty much on the seasons, and understanding what are the ones that will enhance more your natural beauty. So it's still a very good tool.
Yeah, and you're also this season, which I was saying earlier, you're going to start seeing more head-to-toe looks. So we're going back into a lot of suiting looks, the classic looks that are awesome on anybody. So you're head-to-toe in your suits. Blazer styles, jean jackets you're still seeing, but it's not as big as a blazer style or a nice cardigan like your grandfather's. I call them your grandfather's cardigans. The little cardigan that you throw over anything, that's the new thing. And then people...
That's really 1950s, isn't it?
Yeah, and we all
Leave
know...
It to Beaver's mom wore those little cardigans all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we also know that ladies don't like their arms. We all don't like our arms. Once you get past 50, everybody's like, oh, I hate my arms. So that's where these little cardigans, the little blazer jacket finishes your look. So you have to kind of go out there and look. And the other thing that I always stress to people, because they come into the store, and I'm sure you get it, they've bought something somewhere, and God forbid, can they find something to go with it? Well, why did you buy it without getting something to go with it? Then they come to us and they're like, what can I put with this? Well, you know what? We'll do our best, but always get the full thing head to toe. And always when you're buying a bottom, 3 tops to every bottom. So have your basic bottom and change up your tops into 3s.
But Karen, what you mentioned is exactly right. It's the lack of knowledge on how to really do smart purchase, right? It's the modular way of buying, and with that you multiply your wardrobe infinitely. Because then when you have all of you head to toe, then you know that okay, I just need to replenish another top. If I cannot buy the 3 ones, then I will replenish the one that I'm missing, right? But it's that lack of knowledge and understanding on how to dress for yourself. It's getting bombarded by just do it and not really knowing. Right? It's going without a guidance and buying everything on the candy store, pretty much.
And the matchy-matchy is kind of nice. But within the matchy-matchy, you can also mix and match, can you not?
Correct. Correct. So but the base is like Jessica's saying too, your base is your basic navy suit, your basic robin's egg blue, your basic cream, whatever. And then add your pieces to that. Then take your jacket and put it with a printed pant or with your blue jeans or whatever. So you're changing up your whole wardrobe with just one basic underpiece or suiting. So that's kind of where you have to start looking, because that's what's happening. If you look in the fashion magazines, you're seeing a lot of head-to-toe looks, a lot of suitings, a lot of classic looks are coming back.
I like the classic jacket. I'm kind of not the 2-button or 3-button suit looking person. I prefer more of a flowy look myself, but that's just my personal taste. I can still get that same look with a little bit of funk to it, is what I call it. So I just put a little bit of funk in that classic look, and that's just me. So within these classic styles, we still have a little bit of wiggle room, don't we, to add some flair?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
Yes.
Oh my God, yeah.
And you're mentioning, you're saying that is your personality. Each of us, even though there's the suits, you will have a suit that, the button jacket or the one that is open on the one that is more flowy. That talks about your personality, and it's also knowing your body type, because there are certain styles that will fit you better depending if you're curvy or if you're really skinny. So that's where you start combining this fashion to really enhancing who you are by knowing all of the different things, your body type, your personality.
Okay. All right. So I guess we have to kind of do some fashion basics, because people want the fashion basics.
Yes. Everybody needs basics.
Do you wear a long jacket if you're short? Can you wear the tall boots if you're short, or does that chop your already short legs in half? What are some of these rules? I mean, we know a lot of the myths too, but what are the rules of fashion, so to speak?
There is no rules. The rules are whatever looks good on you, makes you feel good, and is presentable is the rules. There is no fashion rules. Yes, they say don't wear stripes that go around because they make you look bigger. Well, that's a myth. And on a lot of ladies, stripes that go around are way more flattering. When you're talking about boots, when they come to the knee, for me, myself, I don't wear that because I'm short and it does chop me off. I look like a little squatty thing, and I already am. So it's, you know what? You have to, like I said, there is no rules. You just have to feel good and look good for yourself.
Right.
And be comfortable in what you wear.
But what we were talking about before, if you're looking at a person and the illusion of creating height is done with all one line and not chopping off either the waist or the knees.
I think the rules that, as I agree with Karen, there's no certain thing. It's knowing yourself and knowing what suits you. But one of the things that is a fact psychologically is to dress and look good is the symmetry that you generate, right? And as more symmetrical you look, symmetrical is the more, your brain will get attracted to you. So what you're describing is exactly to look a little bit longer. You use some certain stripes that are vertical, right? To create the perfect body on the woman is the hourglass, right? So as much as you try to generate that effect with clothing, the more attractive you will be. And that's kind of like the general rule. That's why when you try things and you feel good, is because you're generating that in your brain, that symmetry. And that's what we're looking in terms of fashion.
Yeah, well, that's what Carly was saying too, Carly Simandl, when she talks about makeup. It's making the right side look like the left side, because none of us have a symmetrical face.
Right, exactly.
So half of the challenge of makeup is so that the face looks like the Mona Lisa.
Right.
Who wasn't exactly perfect either, but everyone thinks she is. Anyway, and that creates the illusion. It's kind of interesting because when I see people wearing a really nice outfit and then the boots are stunning, but they're a totally different color than anything else that they're wearing, then I walk away wondering, oh, what did she look like actually? Because I was looking at the boots.
Well, that's right. And I think within the symmetry, it's a logical thing to think, if I'm petite, well, if I wear something really long and, the sleeves that are really long, then I'm going to look a little bit all.
Kind of like an elf.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like that symmetry, right? If I'm tall, well, I have more room to wear a long dress that will look better, right? So
Okay. Now, trendy right now, and you see it in all the pictures, even in Joe Fresh, because I was just at one of the Loblaws stores, and they have the pictures, the fashion pictures hanging, and I guess it's very low price point there, so you can't afford to buy something trendy. But all these trendy pictures are these kind of wide, balloony kind of pants, but they're right in the middle of the calf.
The gaucho.
Yeah, they're weird. It's not long, it's not short, it's not a capri, it's not a long pant. It's somewhere in between. And I think if you're one of the models and you're tall and skinny and 25, you can wear that. But on most people I see wearing it, they look like they're in their pajamas.
Well, it's only because when you wear that kind of pant, your footwear makes the big difference. So your footwear with a gaucho is the most important thing. So no, you don't do a gaucho unless you are tall with a flat running shoe with laces. It needs to be a little bit of a heel to break it, to give you the height. I wear my gauchos all the time. Love them. And it's the footwear. I put them on with running shoes and I look like this little squat person that should be in kindergarten. And then I put it on with my little wedge and it's perfect. And I get a bazillion compliments on them. So it's footwear too. Like footwear is all part of your finishing touches. Your accessories, your necklace, your bracelets, your earrings. It's all part of what you have to do head to toe every day.
Right.
And I love that you mentioned that, Karen, because I think majority of the women get lost on how to accessorize themselves.
All right. Well, we're going to have that discussion after our next break. But we're just going to stick for one more second on the color. It doesn't have to all be the same color, but does it have to be... I mean, there's people who say that they don't like their neck, so they don't want to wear anything that would accentuate their neck, and they want the look to be drawn up more to their face. And then there's others that say they don't like their butt, so they don't want to draw any attention to the behind. And again, so they'd be wearing a top that's going to draw your eye there. And there's some people that have legs to die for, and they want to accentuate their legs. So how does that all fit together?
That's part of the body type. That's being in tune with knowing your body type. So absolutely, if you have, kind of like a pear shape, what we name it, it's, you will try to bring that symmetry again to the top. So the way you do it is you bring something more to the top. So when you visually see someone, it's like you're seeing a complete entity, not just the bottom.
The pear.
Right, the pear.
But that would be hard to do with a printed pant then.
No, that's not true. See, everybody gets this vision. No, a printed pant, if you are a little bit hippier and drapier, like more of a palazzo style, people that are pear-shaped, these skinny jeans are definitely not for them, but they insist they have to do it because it was a fashion thing. It doesn't necessarily mean it works, but now with the palazzo pant, in the prints.
Okay, what is a palazzo print? In case someone
it's
doesn't
the
know.
new wide leg palazzo that goes to the ground, or like the gaucho.
Right.
So it's the wider leg pant, which we're starting to see. It is very, very, very big right now.
But is it flattering if you're bigger?
Yes, very flattering because it drapes.
Yeah, it's knowing your body type and the styles that go with your body type. Where do you need to end the top as well to disguise a little bit of those problematic areas, right? And enhance those that are your things that you want to enhance.
Okay, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we'll hit on some accessories, but I think we're going to spend a little bit more time on this body type because, hiding those, I always say I used to dress just whatever I wanted to wear, and now I have to dress creatively because my fashion serves more than one purpose. It's a joyful day here on Fresh Waves. We're talking fashion with Karen and Jessica, and we will be back right after this, so stay tuned.
Hey, here's some drug-impaired driving laws, simplified. If police suspect you're driving impaired by drugs, they have the tools to arrest you. First, a roadside test. And if you fail, further testing at the station, which can lead to your arrest and a criminal conviction for impaired driving. It's not just alcohol, it's drugs too. If you drive high, there will be consequences.
Let's keep our roads safe. A message from Mad Canada.
We're taking strides to make a difference, to show we care. Strides for change.
In communities across this country, Mad Canada hosts Strides for Change, an annual 5K walkathon and wheelchair event. help raise awareness to stop impaired driving, and raise funds to support the victims of this violent crime. So join the fun. Together, we can make a change.
We're taking strides to make a difference. Strides for change.
Visit stridesforchange.ca.
We're back on Fresh Waves. So we're going to continue our conversation with Jessica and Karen about fashion. I'm your host, Bren Masson, so I'll be interjecting my own little thoughts here and comments. We're talking right now about body type. And body type is really important because it is a fact. And I know I have seen people at your store, Karen, and I've seen people in my circle of friends who say, yeah, I did buy that a little bit too small, but that's going to be my motivation to lose weight. Hello? That dress is going to be sitting in your closet for a very long time because that isn't really what's going to motivate you to lose weight. And do you really need to lose weight, or do you just need to maybe work out? And when you work out, what you have is going to be the same size. It'll just be fit. So it's kind of a dumb thing to do, I think. I really do think that. But
Well, it's dress for who you are and not what you think you're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You have to dress for now,
Right
the
now.
moment. Not, okay, I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I'm going to buy the size 10 because I know I'm going to lose 20 pounds. Well, we all know that that doesn't happen. We all would love it to happen.
yeah, and by the time you lose the 20 pounds, you won't like that pair of pants anyway. You'll want a different one.
Exactly.
So
Right. I always start consulting with that, right? If you have an actual plan that is going to take you there, show it to me. If not, then let's just concentrate on dress for today, and then ideally we will work because this is when you need to impress. Today you need to go out. So that's my train of thought on that. It's like, show me your plan, and then if it's realistic, you're really dieting and you're really going to the gym every day, and then I believe you.
okay, so we're talking about the body image, and when you look at someone from a distance and you see them, I've always been told that if you walk into an event or a party or even into the office and someone says, you look fabulous, that's the ultimate compliment. If they say, great sweater, it may be a great sweater, but it may not be the greatest sweater on you.
On that person, yeah.
Right? So that's what you're going for, is the you look great. And part of that is how you feel. So if you do have a complex about something, then I don't think there's any retailer or stylist who can convince you otherwise. Like, if it's one of your things, and how do you recognize that in somebody? I mean, it must be pretty sad sometimes when you have to dress someone and you think they really would look better in this, but they just won't do it.
And it happens all the time because people, like I said at the beginning, people get stuck in a rut. They won't step out of the box. And sometimes it's perfect to step out of the box, even if it's something, one item that's just a little bit different, that looks fabulous on them, and they wear it, and they go out and their friends say, oh my God, that looks awesome. So, you know what? That's what you want to hear. You don't want to hear, or you don't want to go somewhere and nobody
Right.
says anything. And then you think, okay, what happened there?
And I think from my experience, the most rewarding moments have been those with women that have said, I will not wear that. I never, like my mom told me that I look like this. There's a lot of stories that we carry with ourselves of someone, when they were younger, they were jealous and mentioned something about a red color and they put it in, they block it. Then you make them try something and they're like, oh, wow, I would have never tried this. And then when they wear it and they go to everywhere, there's like, I have received the most amazing compliments. And I think that's what I enjoy about what I do, because it's breaking you from your comfort zone and really you're stepping to who you are, removing the barriers that are blocking you to really embrace who you are and become your beauty. There's one classic question that I get it all the time. Should I dress like too much? Every time when I dress in, I feel that it's too much. And people will say, oh, she's trying to impress. That's the most common question I get. And I'm like, so what? You need to embrace and you need to feel. And if everybody feels that you look so great, amazing. Why you have to hide? And that's something that women question themselves. Why? I mean, if I put this, people will think that I look too good. And don't you want to feel like you look good every day? But it's a question that I get, and I'm trying to work with them to break that cycle of like,
Yeah.
it's too much.
Well, there is something to be said for overdressing for an occasion, right?
Right.
You know, or underdressing. I remember our friend Susan saying to me, "Oh, do you want to come to the barbecue with us? We're going to a barbecue." And I said, "Sure." Wasn't doing anything. I said, "By the way, what kind of barbecue? Because there are many kinds of barbecues." She said, "It's in somebody's backyard. It's a backyard barbecue." So they show up in the old Bentley, which was my first clue that the backyard barbecue probably wasn't an accurate depiction of exactly what was going on. They're dressed summer casual, kind of more on the business side, because it was Peter's business friends. And I'm in jean shorts with a spaghetti strap little cotton top, cute as heck, and a little pair of, Ked's Kicker running shoes that are just fun for summertime. I'm going to a backyard barbecue. We got there. It was a fully catered backyard event. I was so underdressed. It was ridiculous. I mean, ridiculous. They had an Arabian theme. They had camels walking on their front lawn. Their garage had been turned into a martini bar. They had a full bar. Normally you go to a place like that, you get 2 different kinds of beer and the 4 basic alcoholic drinks. I ordered a Guinness. They had Guinness. They had Innis and Gund. They had all these high-end beers, the most amazing drinks. The bartenders were all professional and could make any drink known to mankind. Susan loves her Pimm's. She got Pimm's gin at a backyard barbecue. This thing was over the top. There were belly dancers, fire eaters. It was fantastic. And I was in jean shorts and a spaghetti strap.
Well, that's where when people go to things like that, like when ladies come into the store for dresses for weddings, we always say, where's the venue? Right. Is it fancy? What is the venue? Because 90% of the time, you don't want to go to an outside winery wedding in a gala dress because that's not the
No,
look
besides
anymore.
the fact that you're going to get grass stains on the bottom of it. It
Yeah,
just doesn't
exactly.
work.
So it's really asking the questions on what an event is and where it is and just the whole atmosphere.
And I guess if you don't know, it's better to dress on the side of being a little better dressed
than underdressed.
Underdressed.
Because you can always change your being a little overdressed than being underdressed.
Right. And I think it's, as Karen mentioned, it's doing your research, right? It's just doing and understanding where is it, asking the right questions. If you've been invited to something, is it even informal, just those little things.
I
is
hate
level
it when
of
you get the invitation and it
nobody
doesn't
say.
say.
I know.
It drives me nuts.
It's etiquette.
Business casual.
Or it says business casual. Okay, so what is business casual nowadays?
Right. Because
Like,
some
what is
people
it?
dress like Steve
all of
Jobs,
them.
which is business casual, and some people think if that's what you wear to work every day, then business casual is one step down from that.
Exactly.
Well, what are you into then? Sweatpants? I mean, come on. It's already jeans with a t-shirt and a jacket. How much more casual can you become?
Exactly.
Right.
It's all
That's why
relative.
the rules are all crazy. I mean, they're the rules. If you're going to have business casual, then have business casual. Do a blazer and pants or dress pants or a nice dress.
To me,
and
business
whatever.
casual just means without the tie.
Well, exactly for
Kind
a
of.
man.
Yeah.
for a man. But
Yeah.
for a woman, they like
Bob's your
business
uncle.
casual. What is that?
Yeah.
You see people.
Sky's the limit.
When I go to my bank, it's like, really? You're dealing with my money and you look like that? What happened to business casual in business areas?
Yes, where
There
you
isn't.
look professional, where the look
No,
is professional.
not anymore.
And of course, we are going to talk at the top of the hour about the new dress code going into the high schools, because I think that's where a lot of that stems from. But back to the body image thing. So you have this event to go to. You want to look your best, and theoretically, your clothing are all pieces that are really good quality clothing. But how do you put them together so that you do have that symmetry? Because we really haven't given anyone... Like, do you wear the long top with the short jacket that sticks out the bottom? Is that nice now or not nice now?
It's still happening. That's still a look that's happening, definitely. But it has to be the right proportions, too. So when you're doing an event, you have to know what you're doing and how to put it together. I mean, when people come into us and they're going to an event, we'll do the whole thing.
And the fundamentals are, if we're talking about the body type, it's really understanding what suits you according to your body, right? If you're curvy, obviously the fabrics that are more flowy are the ones that are you're safer of using. Nothing that is too stiff, right? If
Or
you
too
are
clingy.
or too clingy, exactly. So it's just understanding how, like, what, like, am I a pear? Am I an apple? Am I, like, those are the types we use to identify with something that is tangible and you can compare your body with.
Right.
There's
Like
a
the
lot of-
large-breasted women do not look good in certain things. Like
Correct.
probably not the spaghetti strap low cut is not going to be your best friend. Is that safe to say?
Well, yeah, because most people that are big or busted have to wear a proper bra, so your bra straps are a little bit wider, and you don't want to be doing spaghetti straps with a bra unless that's the look you're trying to get across. But I don't think that's our era or our age group.
Right.
Like,
The
we're-
joyful listeners are
the
not going to
joyful-
be doing
yeah,
that.
we're not going to be trashy and do our spaghetti straps with our wide strap bras.
Right, and it's the balance, right? Let's talk about that again, right? It's you get into the trashy instead of classy when you, let's be realistic. If you have nice legs and you're over 40, there's not, in my opinion, there's no such a thing as you cannot wear a miniskirt. You need to be mindful that you're comfortable and you're not uncomfortable with a miniskirt that you don't even know
Is
how to
showing
sit down.
bits that you don't want shown.
Yeah, but if you wear that, be
Jason's
mindful.
laughing, okay? He's the only man in the room right now, and he's actually, I warned him not to fall asleep today because this is going to be a lady chat, but he's just having a blast over there.
It is funny because
know?
you see this woman that they cannot even sit, and then on top of that, they are the whole cleavage showing. It's like, it's about the comfort women. It's balanced. If you want to show your nice leg, amazing. But you know what? Cover yourself a little bit at the top, and it's a balance because it gives you the interest, not the showing. It's being mindful, right? And if you choose to do a little bit of a cleavage, cover your legs. So there's no mystery around you, and you show sexiness with classy, right? It's all about the symmetry, the limits.
And it's fun to show, I know, because celebrities are so highly thought of. I like to show the people who are celebrities but who have aged gracefully and know how to dress themselves. And two of my favorites are Sophia Loren and Tina Turner. Tina Turner oozes sex appeal, and the woman just knows how to dress. She's gorgeous. Gorgeous, but she's not wearing a micro mini skirt that's barely covering the hoo-hoos, to quote Jane Fonda. You know what I mean? It's just, that's not what she's doing. She's not wearing a top that's so low that when she bends over with that microphone, the girls are falling out and greeting the crowd. That's not how she dresses. But is she sexy? Darn right. Always has been. She knows how to dress. Sophia Loren, minimal work done on her. There's people who say she has never had a bit of plastic surgery. She's aging gracefully. She dresses impeccably. But it's stylish and chic.
It's all that classy
And
era.
I think that's missing a lot right now is the chic. There's funky and fun. There's classic, stiff sort of fashion that obviously has a place in the business world, but that chic element is really missing in North America, and it oozes in Europe. It's very, people go out to a bar and they're not wearing
jeans and their best running shoes and a t-shirt. They're
no,
dressed.
exactly.
They're dressed.
but they're still not dressed super fancy.
No.
It's just chic. It's that different, it's got that, if you have a curve, it's not straight up and down, it's not black and white. It's somehow just off the grid
dressy
a bit.
casual that is perfect. I mean,
Yeah.
here you go to our bars and everybody's got their worst t-shirt, their worst jeans.
Right.
Like in Europe, you go to the bars and everybody looks amazing.
They look beautiful.
They look amazing. They're well dressed. They're just going out for dinner or to the bar. It's not like they're going to a fancy event, but they use themselves to look good, feel good.
Yeah.
And they do it for themselves.
I looked at a lady who was, she's Czech. She's stunning, absolutely stunning. And she is one of my joyful listeners. She's over the age of 50, and it's jeans and a sweater. But the way she puts a jeans and a sweater together, it's dynamite, absolutely dynamite. And she always looks like one of the best dressed people in the room. And then when you actually stop and take a solid critical look, she's got a nice pair of shoes. a pair of jeans and a sweater, but it just looks fantastic.
It's because she just knows how to rock it, right? She knows what's in the style for her, not for the
And
rest.
how to put it together.
How to put it together, the
inner
confidence.
beauty of who she
Yes.
is and the confidence in who she is, which again is both the attributes of Tina Turner and Sophia Loren.
Yeah, you have to be confident
Yeah.
with yourself
Absolutely.
before you're going to dress.
Because that shines through, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? All right, Jason, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll continue our conversation. Keep listening to Fresh Waves. This is a lot of fun this morning. And do send us your stories.